Well, today we're going to have to make a tool. You may not recognize this tool, but we use it when servicing the blower to actually knock the strips back to its original state after pulling them in. Except the problem is they don't make this tool anymore. So I got to figure out what I'm going to use to make this happen. So I grabbed some old step blocks because it still has the teeth that I need on it. And so I chopped off the top of one, and then I chopped off the back of it to get our basic shape. I want to make this one longer than the previous one that we had. It's just easier to control. That thing can actually turn sideways and sometimes ding up the rotor. So anyway, I'm going to draw it up here real quickly in Bob Cam. And I'll tell you real honestly, I drew it up. I had it 3/4 of the way done, and the stupid thing crashed, and I lost everything. So anyway, I'm drawing it up again. So what I'm going to use instead of using the square on each end there, I'm going to use some stainless 3/8 rod. That way it doesn't want to gouge into the rotor as much. I've always wanted to do that, but I never got it done. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. That was which way you want the offset of the actual end mill running down the side of this thing. So it was kind of throwing me in error. So I had to put it on the opposite side because when I did the simulation at the end, it came up wrong. So I reran the simulation with it opposite of what I wanted, and it came out right on the simulation. I'm like, well, what the hell? Maybe it's because I'm, using a ball mill when I had it squared off, because I was just kind of trick screwing it, for what I wanted. And I just wanted to have to write up everything like that. But anyway, so once we get to this point, I went ahead, posted it in the NC program, and then you open it up in NC Editor, and you save it for whatever file you want to do, rename it, what have you, and then you bring that out in the USB stick out to the machine. So now we're just going to set up the ball mill. It's a 3/8 ball mill. I just want it to match the 3/8 rod that I'm going to weld on each side of it. And pretty simple deal. Just shove it in, stick it, make sure that it ain't going to come loose, and go from there, and we'll stick it in the machine. So once we got the tool all set there, we're going to home the machine. So the machine itself is finding its true home. So it goes all the way, to X negative and then Y negative. So that's where the machine starts the same every time, and including Z. So we'll get the part thrown in the vise, beat the crap out of it, make sure it's seated good, beat the crap out of it again. And I want to see this hammer that I'm using on this thing. This is an old leather hammer from a machinist. I've got screws in the end of it and trying to keep this old girl alive. And every time I grab it, man, it's just like, I just think that, another machinist had this for so many years, and I guarantee you they weren't doing it on a CNC, it was just all manual stuff. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so right now we're going to find the X home and the Y home of the part. And that's how we wrote the program. We made the lower left corner that position. So this cool little tool I got off Wish, it goes up against the edge of it, and it's going to establish, where we're going to start at. So we do that in X, we do it in Y, and then we throw the tool in. So just simply, it's one tool deal. We're just going to go here and zero the tool on top of the part, and that's what we're going to call the top of the part, and that's where it's going to start the machine. Program's loaded, and we got our tool zeroed. So now we're going to run the program. What do we got to lose, right? Well, this is where shit hits the fan. So we're machining this thing, and I walk away and go do some things. Come back, just checking on it. I really can't see what's going on. I need to change the fluid in this stupid thing. And lo and behold, when I was questioning which side of the cutter should be running on, I was right to begin with, and it was wrong in the simulator. So yeah, Bob Kim, you got a little problem there. And anyway, so once I got the part out, I looked at it. Well, guess what? It's not in the place it needs to be. Look, it ran down almost the center of this thing. And, it's got this thing jacked up. Well, I'm not a quitter. I know I can make this thing work the way it is. It's just going to take, a little bit to do it, because I'm going to have to slice this thing down, right down through the center. Well, yeah, I can put it in the wire machine and run it and do all that. And it'll take a little while. Or just put it in the bandsaw and slice her down. So that's what I did. So I got my old bow lube out, and I started slicing this puppy up. Now, these damn things aren't soft. I'll just say that. You think about it. You're tightening down parts on top of this, and it's going to last you multiple years. Yeah, the damn thing's hard. I don't know what the hell it's made out of, but it's damn hard. Anyway, so I finally get this thing sliced in half, and voila, I've got a new design going on here. It worked out for the better, because I actually like it thinner where you hold on to it, and it's actually probably going to be better than what it was going to be. So anyway, so I put it back in the mill, and now I'm just going to face it on that one side that I ran the bandsaw down on. So I just got this thing in manual mode, just the same as you would like on a bridge board or something like that. And we're just going to keep gnawing on it until we got a nice smooth surface, and then we'll measure it, make sure that each side of that radius that's coming off that part are the same. So when we go to stick the rods on it, it's not going to look all goofy and one-sided. So anyway, it came out pretty damn nice. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. So the bar is going to be stuck on the side there. So we'll take this stainless bar I had laying around, and we'll slice it off. Then I'm going to put it in the lathe, and I'm just going to radius the ends of it. So basically I just took a carbide cutter I had, and I just ground a radius in it. So just kind of throw it up against there, and boom, there it is. So I got it, both of those rods on the part. I'm just going to tack them in place real quick. And then once I get them all tacked, then I'll go ahead and weld it to the part. So you think about, a guy in Australia wanted one of these. He ordered it through a good friend of mine, and because, hell, you couldn't get one. And anyway, so how much time and effort is into making a one-off part? If you actually charge for what it takes to actually do this, you think about it, you got material, one of the step blocks, right? You sacrifice, you got stainless rod, you got machine time, you got actually time in making the program to machine it. And if you're doing one-off parts, you will never make any money unless you charge a lot for it. Anyway, here's the part after I've welded it up. And it came out pretty nice. Like I said, I'm not the best welder in the world, but I do okay. So this is how it works. If you haven't seen some of my blower servicing videos, this is what it is. So there's basically a urethane strip that pulls into the top of this rotor. And when you pull it, it actually gets smaller. So you want it retained to the same size as it was. You don't want it shrinking back, during the run or something like that. So you want it to maintain it. So basically you just beat on it like that, and, it sits on top of the rotor to align it. But the teeth itself are grabbing the urethane, and it actually is moving that back into place. So now we're just going to give it a quick cleanup. So just take some Scotch-Brite pad here, just kind of shine it up a little bit, clean it with some alcohol, and then I'm going to take some tool blackening. Guys use this on like when they're blackening guns and things like that. We actually use it on our chassis. We'll sand them down and use this tool black on them, and it makes them this real pretty, like black, like a gun barrel. So anyway, I'll do that real quick. And I didn't think about it when I made this, but when I'm doing this tool black process, the stainless doesn't take it. So, but the actual steel will. So anyway, after I got done doing this, I was like, well, this damn thing came out pretty nice. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it's got, it looks like I would have to say it looks like a pontoon boat a little bit. A pontoon boat's got some silver bottoms on it. It kind of came out like that. Maybe I'm babbling, I don't know. But tell me what you think. I think it looks pretty cool. So now the finished product goes down to my buddy. He ships it to his buddy in Australia. That guy gets to beat the shit out of his rotors in a whole different country. Thanks for watching.